I really hate it a lot when I finish an episode. It feels like 5 minutes, and you gotta wait a week. That makes me mad. It makes me mad because of how much I enjoy this series. When I'm sitting down watching and I'm seeing some good plays by both teams, I'm getting so into it. My eyes are like this far from the screen. I'm like just standing like, yo, this is so good. It's so good. And when the episode ends, I'm like, fuck. So, can we just talk a moment about how cute it was seeing Hinata just jumping at Kageyama, just asking him to pretty much say nice cover? Can we just take a few moments to talk about how funny, how cute, and all that was? Just how this character, he was like, oh, ew, he's just going around and all that, just being all hyper and stuff because he knows what he did was pretty badass, and Kageyama wasn't acknowledging him and saying, like, nice cover, and then he finally said, and he showed this evil smile type face, and he's like, oh, like, you know, don't show a face like that if you're, you know, saying nice cover. So I just had a lot of enjoyment from that final scene because of what Hinata did, but also seeing how Kageyama reacted to it because he realized he fucked up, and then he got saved thanks to what Hinata did. That makes me pretty damn excited for the next episode, but it also made me laugh quite a bit. So that scene, just one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. Besides, Minika Boy! I love him! I love him! I've said it enough, but just when I see that character say, Minika Boy! Or just different movements and stuff, he's just so cool. I love his facial expressions. But I don't want to focus on him right now. Let's talk about some of the development going on in this episode. And that would be for the main third years. The third years that this is their final chance, and the chance they need to take against their enemy team, Shiratori. So, as we know, for a while now, the three third years, they've been going at it for quite a while, and there was a time to where Kurasuno, they were the, you know, school or the crow without wings. They couldn't fly. They no longer had that step in their jump where they could get to the finales, but now they do, and we see a flashback. The episode starts off with it, and we see how the previous members of Kurasuno, before our main cast of Kurasuno, we see how they were operating. It was at a time to where they couldn't really stay motivated, and they were saying, like, trying to go for nationals is too big of a dream. We should focus on something that we can actually do instead of being disappointed when we, you know, lose in the first match. And it just shows you the type of atmosphere Kurasuno had in the past, and how much they've really changed through the years, and how this new team has, like, Suki, Kageyama, and Hinata, how much they have changed the environment of Kurasuno for the better. And you see how the third years, they are taking this time right now as their chance. Like, they're using it now to be able to finally make it to nationals. And I respect how much they have changed, how much they continue to move on forward. Because, I mean, if you think about it, going throughout the years of constantly losing or not being good, or people calling you, like, you know, the crow without wings, you can't fly anymore, the flightless school, or whatever type of names they attached onto them, you'll probably get depressed and upset. Any normal human being would get upset with that. I feel like that's the logical outcome. And for them to continue to remain strong, continue pushing forward, and then finally having these new members join, it's a blessing for them, but it shows you how hard they've tried to accomplish this feat, and that now this is that time to where they're finally at the spot they want to be at. And one of the best ways to kind of showcase this interpretation of symbolism is that one to where Kurasuno is backed up against the wall, or the cliff. And when you see behind the court just crumbling away, you instantly know what's going on here. This is the desperate situation, and whatever happens here will determine, will they carry forward, or will they fall back down to the bottom of the mountain. And when that earth crumbles and they realize the pressure they felt, that was kind of symbolizing pressure, but also what this moment meant in the match. I like the way that was done, and how it showed that they, even though they had so much pressure on them, they continued moving forward, making good plays, and they managed to win this set. It showed a lot of determination that they will never give up. So, Kurasuno, well done. Well done. But it's not just Kurosano that did a very good job in this episode. Even Shiratori, I even need to acknowledge them for their fabulous plays they continue to do. I mean, I want Kurosano to win because they're the main team. But Shiratori, your ace has so much stamina. It is just scary. I mean, let's think about how much power Shiratori's ace has been putting in his spikes. Every time he hits, you can see the emphasis in his movement, how he jumps and he moves back and he hits the ball with everything he has. You see how much emphasis on his power there is. And you saw how he was kind of changing it up a little bit throughout this episode. But overall, though, the man is still coming in strong with sheer out force, power. And for their ace to continue to do that after all of these spikes, it just scares me. I mean, it's just impressive. You have to realize, when this man is hitting that ball, his hand has to hurt, but his legs, when he hits that ground with that sheer force of him jumping up, you know that has to hurt, the way he's bending his knees, and I feel like that's going to come down to why Shiratori might lose, because of their ace running out of gas, pretty much stamina. He's not going to be able to continue moving forward because his stamina is going to hit 0, which that leads into the next topic of discussion, Kageyama. So, you remember how I've been talking about for the past 2 episodes that one of the big things that's going to decide this match is stamina. That's going to be the big deciding factor. Well, we already see it happening. We see now how stamina is playing a role. We see where Kageyama is making mistakes in the latest set of this episode. And the reason for this is because he's running out of gas. He is lacking stamina. He's been going all out trying to make sure he makes everything as accurate as possible when he passes the ball to someone else, for instance Hinata, and it's fucking him over. He's actually running out of stamina. And if this continues, more errors are going to happen, which eventually is going to lead to where Kurosano is going to need to trade him out. And I feel like that's going to be the big deciding factor of what's going to happen. I mean, when is Kageyama going to step down because he can no longer continue pushing forward because he has run out of stamina? So, something like that's probably going to happen in next week's episode. Kageyama's probably going to have to back down because he just cannot move any further. And I could see maybe even Hinata, too, having to back down because he's running out of stamina. I feel like, overall, when it comes down to it, I feel like Hinata, he might finally run out of stamina when the ace of Shiratori finally backs down. I feel like those two, they might reach their critical moment to where they can't continue moving forward, and then Hinata is going to back down after he probably backs down. Something like that might happen. But let's talk about how awesome Kageyama was, with him continuing to stand tall even after reaching the moment where he barely can even continue doing what he's doing. This man is fucking impressive. I mean, it's like he's doing this. It's like he's grabbing Shiratori's ankles, and he's like, bitch, if I'm going to get dragged down, if I'm running out of gas, and I'm going to just hit the floor, I'm making you all hit the floor with me. You're coming down. I'm dragging you guys, the Eagles, down to the ground, the bottom of the mountain. That's kind of how I looked at what Kageyama was doing. He was grabbing them before he falls. He's bringing as many people with him before he can, and he's trying to make them run out of stamina as well. He's trying to pressure them to where they can no longer just say, oh, it's going to be easy. They're on the defensive, but Kageyama continues to press the attack to show that even if I am running out of gas, you guys don't have it easy. I'm going to continue attacking until I can't move anymore, and you guys are going to be so fucking exhausted to where you're going to be like, holy shit, like, I can't move either. I feel like that's what Kageyama's plan is. He knows he might not be able to make it, but he's going as far as he can to try to run them out of stamina, for then Kurosano will have the advantage with some of their other players that could switch spots. So yeah, Kageyama, good man throughout this episode. I kind of see what you're trying to do, and I just respect you for trying to drag them back down to the ground with you before you fall. Now, Suki. Suki as a character, as I said, Suki was a character I never really respected. I've said it already, but this man continues to just make me enjoy him on the screen. I never liked him. He was like my bottom characters, like the ones I just didn't really care about. He was one of them. But this entire match has proved how good of a character he is. And seeing this man stand up, just, you know, talking with Karasuno, how he's trying to have kind of a competition with Hinata. Like, he says he's not, but we know he is. I like that, because I like seeing how Suki, he hits that ball with his hand movement, and he knocks it. That was impressive. But also then when Hinata turned around and did the exact same thing, it's kind of like these two are competing. It was like Hinata was saying, hey, you can do it, I can do it too, Suki. I can do it too. And I love that. I love how these two were kind of competing. Even though Suki wasn't acknowledging it, it's saying that they kind of were. So Suki and Hinata, they won this match. They clearly won this match. Suki, hard carry. Fucking hard carry Suki. Suki did amazing job in the past couple episodes, but then Hinata comes up and he saves the final moments of the game, so good job there as well. I mean, everyone kind of had a spot in this match. I can't just say it was Suki or Hinata, but overall though, those two definitely carried on their teams when it came to the very critical moments. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, how do you all feel about this week's episode of Haikyuu Season 3? Are you hyped as I am? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.